recording.
It's
Ah,
recording.
shit.
Now it is.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. We are live. Welcome to the Mixed Martial Angst podcast. This is episode number 40. I am your host, Ben Cohn. Joining me today, we have the normal participants. Unfortunately, we can't get Vic every week. It's Alejandro. It's Bilal. Say hi, you guys, while I take a sip of my coffee.
Hola.
What's up?
Listen, I'm not saying...
What does hola mean anyway?
Hola means hi.
Seriously?
Seriously?
Like, there's not a lot of Mexicans in South Africa.
Dude,
Sorry by disappointing.
It's not Mexican, it's Spanish.
Dude, first of all, wow, Bilal, that is shockingly racist for a South African. Secondly,
it's literally like a whole ocean away. Like, it makes sense. It literally makes all the sense in the world.
Really American right now, you know that? You sound
shit,
American.
wait.
Like, I mean that in the worst
possible
too. Not you. No, not you. I'm saying Bilal sounds like such an uneducated American right now.
Oh.
Just saying.
That argument is saying the truth.
It's
yeah.
It's true.
Well, fuck you for not knowing how to pronounce Nchuku.
Nchuku?
Oh, yeah.
Nchuku? Is that the fighter?
Dude, did you guys, listen, I just want to point out, did you guys see that picture where they were talking about all the Nigerian takeover, like the ESPN thing?
And there was one guy who was like 1-1.
It was Nchuku. It was him. It was Kennedy Nchuku, and it's like Kamaru Usman and Sadiq Youssef
and Israel Adesanya.
And like Kennedy Nchuku, and everyone's just like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like it's Izzy, who's I think like 6 or 7-0 in the UFC. It was Kamaru Usman, who's what, 9 or 10-0 or whatever.
13 or so.
Yeah. And then you have Sadiq Youssef 3-0, and it's like you got like the established champion, the almost established champion, and the new prospect, and Kennedy Nchuku. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's 1-1.
Yeah, he's 1-1. It's the funniest thing. It's like 3-0, 11-0, 8-0.
Like all these guys.
The best part is he won the decision there after getting not shot at the entire fight, and
I know. Losing
the other guy just losing points for it.
It's like everyone else, and then there is him.
As you can tell, we're talking about Bellator today.
Bellator.
First, I actually want to talk about the Anthony Yarde versus Sergei Kovalev fight.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't get to see the whole fight, but I did watch a significant amount of highlights. Kovalev is 36, and he's clearly not the same physical specimen he once was, but the man can box. And people seem to keep forgetting that, which is why I threw all of my money at him, $10.
Wait, you did watch it? Because I didn't.
I watched
some
of it. No, I watched the highlights. I didn't get to see
it. Okay, so did I.
10-minute highlight video, which had like 30-40 seconds each round.
I was freaking out because you said, I didn't watch the fight. I was like, shit, I'm not going to watch the fight either.
No, I can't watch the whole fight. But anyway, I'm packing, but we're moving, so I was limited in my ability to watch.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. Alejandro Estrada defended his belt.
Yeah,
yes,
he did. No.
Yes, and he fought right here, dude, in my city, and I couldn't go.
Why?
I feel really bad because I was busy. And then when I realized, like, I had to buy tickets. When I realized I had to buy tickets, it's like, shit, they're expensive now.
It's like, come on, man, you can't.
Also, one last thing. Also, eat Ben's meat.
Oh yeah, sure.
Please,
do it.
I can use some more cash. So yeah,
Staten Island.
No,
it's an expensive
what's
place.
wrong with you, Ben? You have a business now. You should be shelling out at every point.
I know.
Yes.
Ben's Beef Jerky on Instagram. Ben's_Beef Jerky on Instagram. Please,
yes.
My email is benjamincohn91@gmail. Yeah, we have 8 flavors to choose from. They're all really good. My personal favorite is sweet and spicy onion. It's absolutely delicious. They're all, made to order, fresh, no preservatives. They're kosher, if that's a thing that you care about, and they're really, really good. And it's quality beef jerky. So please place your order today. I ship all across the United States. I'm going to try and work out international shipping, I guess, but I don't know how much that's going to cost. So, first Florida today. All right. Follow us.
How's the economy of Staten Island?
Yes. Well, I mean, I can ship from Staten Island too. While it is Staten Island, it's still technically part of New York and the United States.
Yeah, I know, but just people keep saying like Staten Island is horrible. I'm like, okay, they need help.
It's basically the Florida of New York.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Why are you moving there then?
Cheap.
As he should. The best reason ever given for anything.
I'm assuming that's also applicable to Florida.
I could buy a 10-bedroom house for $400K in Florida. Orlando. Not even like a random ass city, like in Orlando. Like with a pool.
100K?
400.
Oh well, that's a shit ton of money.
Still decently cheap.
You don't pay for.
No, but still decently cheap for like a 10-bedroom.
You take out a mortgage. I would only pay I could put down 10% mortgage and get the house.
Oh, I know, but it's still a shit ton of money.
Anyway, we spent 7 minutes not talking about MMA.
Okay, Bellator.
Bellator
Go.
25 happened last night. Sergei Kharitanov beat Matt Mitrione by second round TKO for some reason. Knees, punches. Matt Mitrione lost his mouthpiece about 100 times. It was weird. It was very weird. It was a Matt Mitrione fight. You know what I mean? Like he underratedly has some of the most shenanigans-filled MMA fights. Period. Am I wrong there? Like I feel like he's had
no.
Nah, but to be fair, there wasn't that much shenanigans in this.
There's always shit happening. Like something happens to his eye.
That's what I'm saying. Like think about it like this, right? For a Matt Mitrione fight, this was a pretty regular fight. Like you had him. The previous fight was literally a no contest by accidental groin strike 15 seconds in.
Into wasn't it like popping an emerald or something?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Yeah,
I can't remember. There's something like that.
It was a pop. 3 fights before that, he had the double knockdown with Fedor and then beat him by knockout because he was faster to get up, basically. And then knocked out Fedor, period. And he had those
that made me sad.
That horrific cheating situation with Travis Brown that fucked his eye up completely, where he just gouged his eye out, basically.
Looked like a hemorrhoid.
Yeah, then he had that go-go choke from Ben Rothwell before he submitted Josh Barnett with the same choke. Like, this guy is just the king of ridiculous shenanigans. It's so weird.
To be fair, though,
he's also one of the men to beat Derek Lewis by knockout.
Yeah. But to be fair, this looked like an ordinary heavyweight fight.
It was
and then he gassed out.
I'll give it. I don't think he gassed out. I think it was just first of all, if he gassed out, it's because of the awesome body punching of Kharitanov.
Yeah,
this was a really good fight. Like this was
for heavyweight.
For a heavyweight fight, this was a really it was good pace. There was a wide variety of striking used. There was a lot of body shots on both ends. Like Kharitanov's body was also kind of fucked up from those front kicks. Mitrione is one of the cases that really bugged me because he's a genuinely big, fast, athletic, tough guy, and
who makes bad decisions.
Who's got serious, he's got a serious head. He's a serious head case. Like, do you remember on Tough when he was like, my brain was swelling, or something like that?
I thought he was lying. I thought he later said he was lying.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. He's a fucking head case. But he was locking himself in his room with the lights off, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with him? If your brain was swelling, you wouldn't be here, right? Like, you're not able to fight, man. Like, he's a fucking weird dude, and he, you know what?
He also fired his manager in public once. You're Flanagan.
Oh shit! You know what I just realized?
What?
We stopped talking about Kovalev versus Yarde for no reason. But we'll finish this and go back to it. But what I was trying to say was that I really, really like Matt Mitrione. I actually really do. Win or lose, the guy is rarely in a boring fight. And he's a big, powerful guy. Gets a lot of knockout wins and losses. But
it's heavyweight.
Right.
So.
But He's got 4 decisions on his record out of 21 fights. He's won 11 of them.
But it's a heavyweight. It's like half the division is like that.
Right, but he does it in style.
Okay, but let me just
really
say.
Though? Really?
Okay, no,
Really?
let me say something.
I would say he's got the ability to style on guys just athletically.
Yes. But
he was so gassed by the finishing sequence that he lost his mouth guard and then just turned around and wanted to fight Kharitanov.
I don't know if you watched that fight with the volume on. He said to the ref, "It's a new mouth guard." That, which is another thing I want to kind of like go off on.
What the? Why?
It was not fitted for him.
It was not a fitted mouth guard for him.
He
but
got
like at least point down or like back up slowly to like make it known that you dropped your mouth guard.
Well,
don't drop it and then walk forward out of position into an
head case. That's what
that cannot
say. Like he was already like frustrated, and confused, and hurt.
No, yeah, but the thing with this fight is that the mudguard failed him 3 times only in the first round, and then the referee came in and said, "I'm going to take a point if you keep doing this." And he's like, "It's a new mouth guard." And then he's like, "Dude, you're a professional. Like, what happened? I cannot say. You have to handle this."
Well, actually,
and then the mouth guard.
Hold on.
Yeah,
just let me say one thing. What Ben Mariota said, he's like, "It's when he told him it's a new mouth guard." He quite literally responded, "That's not my problem, dude." Like, how's that my problem?
Well, it's not his problem. Like, what does he do there?
I've ever heard Dan do.
It's like the weirdest shit. And the sad part is that Mitrione is skilled for heavyweight, like the set of skills that he has, but he seems to fight like a smaller guy, like a lightweight. Like everybody said this in the UFC. At least Joe Rogan repeated it over and over again. Like he moves like a lightweight. He kind of does, but he kind of doesn't have that depth of skill to back that up because his style is non-sustainable. Like if he goes into a grinding fight, like chances are you see what you saw last night, Lynn, that he just got outclassed pretty much, and he was freaking out, and then he just got KO'd because Kharitanov is kind of crusty and, clearly on the downswing of his career, but he still can crack.
Oh yeah.
And he put him down.
Also, is it just me or like did Mitrione throw at a higher pace than he should have?
Yes, but he kind of had
to. At certain points, there was one strike every 5 seconds.
Yes, but he had to because he's fighting
decent stretches.
Yes, but he has to because he's fighting Sergei Kharitanov.
It also picked up after he got warned about the point getting taken away, where I feel like he felt like he needed to kind of get him out of there.
But he knows that you can just back away for a bit and not constantly throw.
What?
No, I'm saying, does Matt know that he can back away a little bit and not constantly throw?
I'm not sure.
Not against Kharitanov, because they are correct. The one thing the commentary was saying was that he did not want to get backed up by Kharitanov, because Matt Mitrione just wasn't capable of handling a Kharitanov moving forward. And you saw that every time Kharitanov kind of just was able to walk Mitrione down, he was getting kind of fucked up, and it was not exactly the reverse. But Mitrione was getting his best work done when he was the one in control of where the fight.
Yeah. I'm not saying moving. I'm not saying constantly fighting off the back foot. What I'm saying is just fighting instead of constantly moving forward. Pick your spots and don't throw as much. Because I feel that a lot of heavyweights can do that, and he did not. Even if it would have ended up in the same result.
Well, he has issues with in-cage decisions, I would say.
Yeah, well, he could have tied up, and he never initiated it. Like Kharitanov is naturally a kickboxer, but he never initiated.
Actually, so that's where I was going to get into. Kharitanov actually was not a kickboxer.
Sambo guy?
He's a Sambo guy. If you look at his record.
Oh, no, then he's fought.
Most of his career up until. So, the first, 10 years of his career, he was splitting submissions and KOs and probably getting more submissions than KOs. I'm looking.
Oh, shit, that's correct.
In his in 2019 to about 2013, right? He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins by KO and 1 win by submission. Right. So you go before that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 submissions and like similar amount of KOs, or a little, maybe 1 or 2 more KOs. Like the guy has 10 submission wins, and 8 or 9 of them were before 2013. He just moved away from it as he became more of a kickboxer, because he actually started kickboxing in 2009, like as a kickboxer. Not well.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Not well.
Yeah.
7-4, but like he gravitated away from it, and he used to actually be quite trim. People don't realize that.
Well, he's 39 years old.
No, I mean, like his trimness went away in like 2020, like after a while. Like when he fought Fedor, he was like super slim, right? Like he was trim and not cut, but like trim for sure. And that kind of like faded with time. So Kharitanov was actually really good. At I don't know if he's kept up his submission skills necessarily, but the guy can grapple, and Mitrione, which bugs me to this day, still can't grapple well.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like,
to be fair, that bugs you with every fighter who can't grapple.
True. But I mean, listen, I don't think there's any hope for Mitrione at this point, and that sucks. But honestly,
well,
I mean,
it's
41.
his age.
He's 41.
It's heavyweight. He'll be a champion in another 10 years. No.
I mean, that's funny, but
It's
shit.
kind of fucked up that he's
Like,
2 years older than Kharitanov.
Well, Kharitanov is just
39.
He's been around. Like,
Yeah.
That dude was in the army for a while, and then like
Yeah.
he's a paratrooper.
I know.
Like, it's literally his nickname.
I know. All right, Vitaly Minakov, Tim Johnson. That was. I mean, Minakov is. People forget how dangerous he is because he's not around, but the man is a really fucking good fighter. I would definitely hesitate to call him the best heavyweight in the world. And I kind of want to address this because I was discussing it with someone on Twitter. Just real quick. I get it, what you're trying to say. The dude is an incredibly skilled, big, powerful, explosive fighter. I get it. He's got 22-1. His only loss is to Czech Kongo, which is kind of my point. Boosts my point. Yeah, he can knock you out. He can take you down. He can submit you. He can go to a decision and win. But there's the thing. Here's the thing. You can't face Alexander Volkov 6 years ago and say that's enough for you to think that his skills are at the elite level and he should be considered pound for pound the best. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you could say it, but you're going to sound ridiculous. Like, I get it. I get that, people do like to talk about how the UFC is not have everyone who's the best fighter. There are lots of great fighters outside the UFC. It makes perfect sense, and I get it, and I agree. There are amazing fighters outside the UFC. But saying that someone like Vitaly Minakov, who has not faced elite heavyweights, because one of the organization's strongest weight classes in terms of having top guys happens to be heavyweight. That's not saying much because it's garbage, but still, Vitaly Minakov is probably the best heavyweight outside the UFC. If I had to pick somebody, I would pick Vitaly Minakov. And I would.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I would absolutely agree with you if you said, I think Vitaly Minakov has the skills to be a top 5 UFC fighter. I can totally get behind that. But to say he's the best, that's just ridiculous to me. And saying beating Volkov in 13 is enough to convince you is kind of weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a difference between proving that you are the best and just being acknowledged that you are good. Because there are lots of good fighters, but that doesn't mean they've proven that they're the best yet.
I mean, like, it's like I had an argument with Teep Teeps the Junk on Twitter.
Oh God, Ben, no.
Wait. I will say this: if you do want information on what's going on outside the UFC, there's very few accounts that are going to give you that information. The dude follows every MMA organization in the fucking world, and I'm not kidding. like if you want information on what's going on in freaking Ryzen 1, Bellator, basically any warrior, like probably LFC, I don't even know. Like the guy's like just like constantly tweeting about MMA. I don't know what he does, but like that's what he does. So he has a little bit of a love fest with Scott Coker and Bellator, but whatever. Anyway, he was talking about
I can follow him.
he was talking about how DC's best win was Josh Barnett in Strikeforce. And look, I love Josh Barnett as a fighter, but Josh Barnett is not a better win than Stipe Miocic at heavyweight. Okay?
What?
Okay? Like, please, like, people need to, like, I get it. You hate the UFC, you hate Dana, whatever it is. Fine. You need to, like, you don't realize how ridiculous you sound. The reason why the UFC has built up such a hateful relationship with so many fans is because they have monopolized the best fighters for the most part over the past 8-10 years or whatever it was. That's why fans have tried to talk about other organizations and get other organizations, notoriety and attention to detract from the UFC's monopoly on it. But that also means that you have to acknowledge that the reason why you're doing this is because you know that the UFC generally has the best fighters, and pretending they don't is just silly. It's ridiculous. Honestly, I know this is going to sound silly, but like mean, but just grow up. Stop. I'm serious. Grow up. Like
I don't disagree.
You can't be expected to take it seriously in your MMA commentary if you're going to start claiming that fucking DC's best heavyweight win is Josh Barnett. That's fucking ridiculous. And you can't expect people to take your opinion seriously when you say Vitaly Minakov is the best heavyweight in MMA today when he hasn't fought a single ranked heavyweight in his career.
Yeah, but that's not his fault, though. Let's make a...
Wait. It's not his fault because I do think he has had some serious visa issues. And I'm not saying... And again, he did explain, I know he hasn't beaten ranked guys. I'm saying based on his skills that I see, I think he's the best heavyweight in the world. But if you don't prove it against elite fighters, do those skills hold up? It's easy to look dominant.
That's an interesting point.
Subpar competition. Jason,
yes. To
be fair, that happens even within the UFC itself.
Yes. Okay, but let me ask a question. Let me ask a question that I think is pertinent, considering you're mentioning Minakov. Mm-hmm. How many people in the UFC does he have to beat in order to be considered elite? Because when you watch the UFC's heavyweight, that's kind of the thing. Like even the UFC's heavyweight division, if you look at it, like how many elite heavyweight fighters are there?
I agree with you 100%. Literally, if he
fought one dude, one dude,
literally one guy. I'm not even saying like you need to fight 3-4 guys who I believe you. Like it's not lightweight, man. Like if he walked in right now and just fucking beat the shit out of and just floors
Derek Lewis,
yeah. Like after beating the shit out of them for a round, yeah,
you're top 10.
Volkov again,
yeah.
And you know what? I think he would. I absolutely agree.
He probably would.
I absolutely agree that he's a top 5 fighter, in my opinion, just based on the skills that I'm seeing. But to say he's the best is my point.
He's not. We can't say that. Like,
can't say
he's not coherent in this.
Fucking Johnson. Like, what do you think Stipe Miocic was do to Tim Johnson? What do you think Francis Ngannou would do to Tim Johnson? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, we've seen Tim Johnson get knocked out by worse fighters. Like, Junior Albini knocked out Tim Johnson 4 fights ago. Junior fucking Albini. Like,
yeah.
Diaper Man.
When Diaper Man is knocking you out, maybe don't use that as like and you know what the funny part is? Alexander Volkov only beat Tim Johnson by split decision in 2016. So maybe Alexander Volkov just has a problem with grapplers. Maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but Fabrizio Verdun was basically dominating Volkov on the ground before he gassed out. So I think it's more a problem with Volkov's grappling than it is anything else, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But
well, to be fair to him, heavyweight is so shallow that even if it is just his grappling, like beating him by grappling will still mean you are elite. It's just
I agree.
prove it.
Okay, so before we move, I don't know if you guys have anything to talk about the fight itself. There really wasn't. I do want to talk about the commentary where they're basically like, one thing I actually really enjoyed was they basically said like, listen, if Tim Johnson can't get his wrestling going, he's fucked. Like
it was true.
Which was true. Like he got completely out wrestled. He was thrown around a couple times and then got got knocked out. And I really liked that the commentary was brutally honest. Like this is a short notice fight. Tim Johnson is a wrestler. If he can't wrestle, he's fucked. Instead of making like that, like he has power, like he can knock you out, but realistically, they were just like, yeah, it's all I'm going to go fuck him up on the feet, and that's what happened.
One question. Yeah. I want to know if I heard correctly, but wasn't what's his name? Big John saying that Tim Johnson started wrestling when he was 5?
That makes sense. That happens. Yeah, that's
Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but shouldn't he be a little better?
No, he's not good at wrestling. He was a D2 All-American. He was a good wrestler, but he's also, not athletic. So, I mean, the guy is only 34. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's wild. He's younger than me. Jesus. Yeah, but I love the finishing sequence, like that little like kick and then followed by a punch.
That was great. That
looked amazing.
That was beautiful, and then he follows it up with a right hand and just lands like.
Yeah, that was probably not as great.
Well, before we go on, we keep forgetting Yarde Kovalev. Yarde is a physical specimen, and he's training with a snake oil salesman, whose name he is. Dude,
I'm not sure. No. Somebody
doesn't spar. He never.
No, that's what he says. I think someone somewhere else said that is actually not true. That's just his trainer, because he's also his agent, by the way.
Dude, he's selling a fucking program on the mitts. He's using Yarde to market a program for mitt training.
Absolutely. But that doesn't. Yes, but that's what he's doing.
That's literally the definition of a snake oil salesman. He's lying. If you
no. Wait.
Even worse.
No, but that's the thing. Like he's lying about that, but that does not mean that Yarde is not sparring. You're believing the snake oil salesman.
No, I'm telling you what I'm saying. I know my opinion, and you're saying no, that's not your opinion.
No, wait, no, I'm not what I'm saying. Look, what the snake oil salesman is this. Not only does he not spar, he does not do road work at all, and he trains whenever Yarde wants. That's what he's saying. And there's other people saying that is not exactly true, that he actually does smart. I don't remember, but it was on a podcast. I don't remember at the top of my head.
Random people claim it's not true, and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to believe those people, other than
well, it's difficult to think that somebody doing no sparring would get to what Yarde is.
Well,
but maybe he's so athletic.
Yeah, apparently. He started training 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's nutty.
So I don't understand. Like I feel perfectly comfortable saying when the boxer himself is not contradicting him, when nobody from their camp is contradicting him, when everybody is saying one thing, and you have a couple people on the podcast saying, "Nah, bro." Yeah.
To be fair, I get where Alejandro is coming from.
I get it.
If you are taking his trainer at his word that he does not do road work or spar, then you are believing a snake oil salesman.
Well,
but
okay,
it's a weird statement that you can't unprove unless you have direct evidence for. So it's like,
yeah, you can't prove otherwise.
I get where he's coming from, though.
I get completely where he's coming from. It's like saying I take Dana White at his word. I get it. Don't get me wrong, but when there's literally no evidence other than that, what are you supposed to do?
No, I mean, it's fair. Like, even Yarde says, I train whenever I want.
And there's also the fact that he does look like a dude, like a lot of his reactions look like a dude who does not spar a lot.
Yeah, but how much of that is, like, yes, he does not spar like he should, but how much of that is he's not sparring like he should, and how much of that is he just doesn't have the the muscle memory because he did not start boxing when he
Maybe.
was 5 or 7 years old.
Well, we've seen athletic talents pick it up very quickly, but there's also the fact that he gassed.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because he does not believe in road work.
I'm saying like there's a lot of evidence to support the idea that he doesn't spar and doesn't do road work.
No, I agree. Like
a lot of boxing,
but believe
a lot of people who I follow on Twitter and are boxing oriented do talk about how his trainer is like basically
it's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
So, and I saw some footage of him working the focus mitts. My God. Eesh.
Oh, he actually, people actually say that he took everything from Mayweather, from the Mayweather team, because he actually used to go there to learn.
Okay.
So he's yes. So the Mayweather system, because they do have a system. Like this guy, what they say is that he poached a bunch of things from them, and now he's like selling it as his own. It is like this very strange. Like I don't even know. Like he's like he goes and says that he wants to be the first superstar trainer, and that trainer should talk more. And like dude, no, you're not helping. Like even assuming that all of it is made up, not train whenever he wants, and that he actually has a schedule, and that he actually trains properly, and that he spars. Like even then, like he set him up to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I completely get it. That being said, Kovalev came back from a pretty like dangerous moment. I think it was the 7th or 8th round, and then ended up finishing him. Like those like Kovalev's jab was money all night.
He knocked him out with a jab.
Yeah, but I think that was more
that only happens when you're super exhausted. Yeah, I am super exhausted.
But yeah, great.
But do himself $1 million because he offered $1 million to step away.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He chose. Yeah, he wanted to fight Kovalev, and last night happened.
If he could switch trainers and get some real training, he might actually be like a legit fighter. But like, damn, that was.
It's still very hard. I mean,
he's young still, so he's only 28.
But again, like you're gonna be going against people that have been doing this for like since they were like 5 years old.
Athleticism can make up for a lot, and if he gets the right trainer, they could maybe do something with him. But we'll see. I don't think he seems like he's going to train anywhere else. So
no, but he's his agent.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to change unless he changes everything. Let's move on. Also, I made money on Vitaly Minakov. I should keep it just so when I say make money, I make nothing. I don't have that much to bet.
No.
It's not my betting account. I'm borrowing someone else's, so they only give me limited funds to bet on. But I dropped it all on Minakov to beat Johnson. I was like,
but how? Why?
The line was like minus 260. Which means for every $2.60 I bet, I get $1. And I'm like, I would bet $100. I would bet $1,000 on Minakov. Like that was the easiest money ever to make. And
$1 million.
I was literally like, if he said like, dude, I give you permission to bet $1,000, I would have easily bet $1,000 and made $200. I would have been like, that's the fucking best thing ever. I would have made like $400. Anyway, Alejandro Lara defeated Taylor Turner by TKO.
Yes.
She just start to finish beat the shit out of her. She was completely outmatched. But
completely. Like what the last person Taylor Turner beat was Heather Hardy, and no hate towards Hardy. Like
she's not.
To you.
And don't get me wrong, like
it's MMA.
Yeah, Lara's good, but she's not phenomenal. Like she came off 2-fight losing streak to.
But who did she lose to though? Juliana Velasquez and the champion Lima Lee McFarland. Like those are not easy fights.
And Velasquez was a split decision too. It wasn't like
no. It shouldn't have been a split. I think Velasquez won.
But I'm saying like, it wasn't a runaway fight, and Velasquez is really 9-0. Like she's a really good fighter.
Yeah, no. Lara hung in there, and for someone that has had like the level of inactivity that she's had throughout her career, like it's good to see her get this win because the and win the way she had to win. Because like this was like a gimme fight almost.
I mean, look, let's be real. Like, obviously, Valentina Shevchenko is another level, but like McFarlane and Lara and Velasquez, and they also have Valerie Letourneau, who, while definitely not on the upside of her career, is still solid. You have a solid lineup there. Like,
Lara beat Lena Chinikova. Like, not a lot of people are familiar with her, but she was like completely, like, she just didn't have the experience to fight that kind of competition, and somehow she pulled off the win.
Yeah,
the issues that she has, like, yes, the technical issues are still there. I don't think that she has necessarily addressed them.
She's got
time. I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's got time.
Yeah, but I know, like, what I'm going to say, I mean well, right? Like, I'm not like, she sucks, but you can sort of see that there is this system, and she hasn't entirely taken to it, like the way she's been trained, because she moves a lot. Like, I think she started in Colombia, then she was in King's MMA for a while. I don't know if she went through AKA for a bit, but then she went to Team Grasso with Irene Aldan, Alexa Grasso, Karina Rodriguez, all those people. And then that's kind of been her main base of operation. But around that time, she's also been to Rufus Sport. She's been to Italy, where she's training kickboxing. So she moves a lot. Like, she kind of moves at the beat of her own drum, and that is a good thing because you get a lot of training. But you can sort of see that she's from a different mold than the people that she's training with. And you can see it in her stance. Like, she's a karate-based fighter, right? And a lot of her entries are sort of designed to be on the more boxing model. So it's like this weird hybrid. And she also does things that nobody else in that camp does, like those spinning kicks and all that shit. Like, she's going to struggle. Like, it's going to take some while for her to develop the way that she wants. But I'm excited. Like, I like her. And she's like a decent person to boot, which it makes it easy to root for.
Absolutely. Let's move on to Tyrell Fortune defeated Rudy Shafroth. Fortune is someone to keep an eye on. He's a heavyweight with an actual athletic ability. Wrestling, always something to keep an eye on. The guy he beat. Are you typing? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not typing.
No, I thought you were. He's 7-0. He's pretty solidly sized.
How do you think it was, dude? My teeth?
No, I was like, are you typing? What the fuck? Anyway, he beat a guy who was 6-0. Like, Rudy Shafroth was an undefeated heavyweight himself, 6'3", 265. Like, Fortune's a guy to keep an eye on. You know, he's 7-0 right now.
He's super young, just 29.
Young for a heavyweight, exactly.
Yes.
Like, we have to like qualify that, because it is important to explain that while he is, young, he's young for a heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Yep. And you get your best years after 35 or so.
What?
That you get your best years after 35.
Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. But he was
it's a contradiction.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like he was a D2 All-American. He I think multiple times or one time, and he was a 2-time NJCAA champion. I'm not a wrestling aficionado, so I can't say I know where he ranks as a wrestler, but the dude is a wrestling-based athletic heavyweight. Like,
yeah,
that's important.
He can learn kickboxing at his set.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where he trains. I'd have to look into it, but
no idea. But I found his really background, like NCAA Division II, twice, and NJCAA champion for Clackamas Community College. Okay, right. 2-time 6A state champion in high school.
I think he was a Division II All-American once.
Yeah. If he can get some good striking going, he's going to be a problem for everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, Stipe Miocic is not a wrestler. Look at what he's doing to DC.
Stipe Miocic was a Division I All-American, dude.
What?
No, he was Division I. He was Division I wrestler. I don't think he was an All-American, but he actually did wrestle.
How much better is than Tyrell Fortune then?
I don't think he is. I mean, he wrestled at D2, but there are some D2 wrestlers that are fucking legit. Kamaru Usman is a D2 All-American. All right, let's move on. Nick Newell defeated Corey Browning, a completely overmatched fighter, by arm triangle choke. I love watching Nick Newell. It's awesome to see him fight and win. So good shit. And Ricky Bandejas knocked the fuck out of Ahmet Kaireti, and Sabah Hamasi fucking murdered Micah Terrell with a punch 17 seconds. And Aviv Ghazali submitted Eduard Moravitsky by a heel hook 11 seconds into the fight, and it set the record in Bellator for the fastest submission win. So, awesome.
The Ricky Bandejas KO was kind of weird because he was moving backwards and his left foot was off the mat.
Yeah, weird shit happens in Bellator.
Like, it's kind of one of those things where, like, don't run head first into a punch because you don't even have to be planted for it to knock you out. And dude, you sort of fell forwards face first, and then Bandejas just finish him.
Let's move on to Bellator 226, which is happening September 7th. Ryan Bader is going to defend his heavyweight title against Czech Kongo.
Yeah.
This is 2019. Kongo's on an 8-fight win streak right now. His last win being a unanimous decision win over Vitaly Minakov, which kind of shocked a bunch of people.
Yep.
Before that, he beat Tim Johnson, JV Ayala, and Augusto Sakai. Man, what is Bader? Okay. The last elite wrestler from the U.S. that he fought, I think, was Muhammad Lawal. Does that make sense? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Well, King Mo has always been good at wrestling, if that's what you're asking. He's elite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he was a smaller, faster wrestler and was able to out-wrestle Czech Kongo. Since then, it's been Volkov, Quirez, or Kere, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Tony Johnson, Ollie Thompson, Augusto Sakai. The next guy who even wrestles at all was JV Ayala. He's also not strictly a wrestler at all, and definitely not on the level of Ryan Bader. And then he was Tim Johnson, who, again, not exactly the most athletic dude, and Vitaly Minakov, who is athletic and can wrestle, but it's also a different style. Also, Bader's going to have a significant speed advantage. There's no question about that. Kongo is not the most durable guy, and he also, while he doesn't necessarily gaz, we've seen Bader handle a bigger guy like Nat Mitrione, who's not as good at wrestling as Czech Kongo. Man, I actually think that we're going to see Bader win this fight. Like, I think that Bader is going to defend his title against Czech Kongo.
I agree. I would go even farther than that. I would say that Ryan Bader would be pretty fucking okay as an overall heavyweight. Look at the heavyweight division.
No question.
Like seriously, take a look at it. Like, he could very well be top 5 heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Do you really think he loses to Alexander Volkov consistently?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Bader just takes him down and grinds him out. Can he lose to Derek Lewis? Yeah, everyone. Derek Lewis can literally knock out anybody. But would he lose to Derek Lewis?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I had this conversation with someone else, and he wasn't sold on it. But it was like, what are you talking about?
Weird for Bader, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not even sure about that because Bader. What would Bader do? He would take him down. What is Lewis gonna do?
Bench
Then, probably, but how many times can he do that where he's getting punched in the face?
I mean, he's done
now
it.
We know it.
Yeah, he's done it a lot.
But again, Bader is fast. Bader hits hard.
Yeah,
and Lewis is.
He does, but I mean, Bader hits hard for a light heavyweight. We don't really have a sample size to say how hard of a hitter he is at heavyweight.
I think he's pretty fucking hard.
I'm not using Fedor as a.
No, I know, but I think just by the fact that he's moving really fast,
maybe
I don't think heavyweights are gonna take those shots and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk through them. I don't think so.
No, I don't think anybody will walk through his shots. There's no question. You can't walk. Bader hits hard, but
he's a big guy.
He's big. Yeah.
He just throws hard, and the added body mass,
I don't think he put on any weight.
But
based on the way he's coming into the cage, he's coming in, I don't think he put on any mass.
No, I know, but there is a limit to how much you can rehydrate and balloon up and be proper usable mass.
No, I'm saying
after a weight cut. That's what I'm
just doing walk around weight, which I think is 230 for him.
Yeah, which is heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what Stipe just That's what Stipe just for this fight with Cormier.
Yeah, so it's not he's
I mean, if you
super small.
Let's look at how he matches up. I mean, Kongo, he's a pretty known commodity. The guy's going to try and, from the outside land some big shots, but they're generally in single shots. He doesn't really throw in combination. And he'll try to clinch wrestle you against the cage,
and hit your balls,
and knee you in the balls. Bader has a really educated jab for. Again, I need to qualify this for MMA. His wrestling is actually a lot better now than it was earlier in his career, which is usually doesn't happen. Where he's actually learned to apply his wrestling far better in an MMA context as time went on, as opposed to, getting less athletic and less explosive and it kind of failing him. It's been the opposite, where he's actually, he gets more drive on his takedowns. He has smarter shot selection. He chains his wrestling better than he used to. He ground and pounds better than he used to, and he is just an overall better grappler than he used to be, and that's really important. He's also seems a lot more comfortable on the feet. Even when he's not necessarily winning on the feet, he still seems comfortable. And I will bring something back that he said after his Ilir Latifi fight, where he said I actually was just enjoying myself. It seems like he put a ton of pressure on himself, especially leading up to his Anthony Johnson fight. And it showed, and you would see that he was constantly twitchy, even though he was really clearly improving his striking, with the Rashad Evans fight and all that stuff. You could see there was still a little bit of something holding him back. And then he fought Latifi, got dropped, and for the first time of his career, came back from getting dropped and won by knockout. And saw his most recent run of 7-fight win streak. And he seems to enjoy his career at this point.
He seems to have sort of I think that happens to a lot of fighters. They get this sort of, I don't know how to say it, this existential anxiety. For example, a fighter that has not gotten over that hump is Randa Marcos. And you can kind of see that it holds them back, and it can last for years. And to Bader's credit, it held him back against really good fighters. The people that beat Bader were all really good fighters,
except for Tito.
And Tito Ortiz.
I
mean, he was a good fighter at some point.
It's not like he lost to a scrub. He lost to a former champion who, eventually, I know people like to shit on Tito, but the dude was a legit high level guy, and Bader didn't just take him lightly. He fucking thought it was a joke. He thought he would run over Tito, and people who ran over Tito were fucking elite guys too. Rashad Evans, Lito Machida, those are not scrubs. They were legit. That's what I'm trying to. People forget how good the people who beat Tito were.
Yeah, but he now seems to have gotten over that hump that sort of holds back fighters.
Absolutely.
And it shows, and I do believe that he's going to put us cooling on Kongo. I hope I'm not wrong.
I don't know if he'll finish Kongo just because Kongo's
Really?
Kongo tends to be so I'll explain. Kongo tends to be finished by guys who can just blast him out of there. On
Yeah.
feet. He's only been finished 3 times in his career, and the guys who finished him are Gilbert Ivel, Mark Hunt, and Roy Nelson. And he's very good at mitigating damage. He's very good at slowing down fights. He's very good at making a
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what else to
But yeah, I know, but who has he done that against? Because I think that he still has a super porous defense.
He did it to Vitaly Minakov, and that impressed me.
Oh, well, fair enough.
And Vitaly is explosive for a heavyweight. So I do think that we'll see Ryan Bader completely control Czech Kongo. And if he's going to get a finish, I think it'll be like in a try-to finish. And another thing is that Bader just does not gas. The guy's got a gas for days.
Yeah, I just have this idea that he's just going to drop him with something. I keep remembering how Kongo's defense is not great. Okay, he banks on being able to scare you with his power and then somehow closing the distance.
And very long.
Right?
The dude's a very tall, 6'4",
yes,
2-inch reach. He's a very long.
But Bader is way too fast. For the people that Kongo's been fighting, and I can't still shake. I know it's been a long time. I can see that it's been a long time, but do you remember when Pat Barry cracked him? Pat Barry is tiny for a heavyweight, and he
got the fuck down by that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he closed the distance on him, and he cracked him. If Pat Barry can do that, Ryan Bader at this juncture in his career, I think he's gonna catch him with something. And how many times does he need?
Bader's gonna want to risk it. This is his first title defense, and he knows
probably he's just going to
Kongo
control him.
Yeah, he knows that Kongo is not a good enough wrestler to beat him there. And Bader is...
Yes, but I'm not saying he's going to... Okay. But I'm not saying... Yes. I'm not saying he's going to try to kickbox with him. Entry. The guy is not he comes in and just jab, cross, right? Bader, sometimes his entries are with leading overhands.
Well, he's really good at faking that he uses it he fakes a small shot, and then he uses it to come over with that overhand.
Yes, but those are entries. That's my point. He only has to knock him down in order to get on top of him and control him. And if he sees an opening in the floor, I think he's gonna take it. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think he's there, but I don't think he's gonna opt to strike with Kongo if he doesn't have to.
That's my point. I don't think he's going to need he's going to have his strong entry, take him down, or force him into a clinch, somehow maneuver him around, get him to the floor, and just pound him out if he needs to, for rounds on end. He's not gonna get tired.
Finish him?
I think he will be third round or fourth round.
Do you think he can? I'm saying, do you think he will?
I think so. Fourth round, sure.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm probably gonna pick
decision because
it seems like Bader is with Matt Mitrione. He did not take any risks in that fight, and I think he's going to do the same thing here, where he's just going to take him down and just grind him out. I mean,
that makes sense.
Honestly, he beat the shit out of Mitrione, but
yeah, that was bad for him.
Right. I think that Kongo's just going to be able to slow down the fight enough and kind of fuck around a little bit and not allow the finish.
Yeah, that's interesting because I want to see that. I want to see how this version of Bader gets slowed down, if that's thing. I want to see how, because I haven't quite seen someone kind of survive that entry, because it's always he grabs you, he has his entry, and then he's on you, and then he sort of controls you from there. But against Kongo, maybe that won't work. So
yeah,
I mean, I think it will, but maybe it won't.
It will. I mean, Kongo, for all of his skills, can be controlled even when he's neutralizing offense.
Yeah.
He sacrifices his ability to generate his own offense in order to neutralize yours.
Yeah.
It's not like Leon Edwards, where his neutralization is taking advantage of specific things and slowing the fight down and still initiating his offense. It's, I'm going to just make this not a fight.
Yeah, but in his defense, Kongo has been around for a while, and he's kind of like a former era fighter. Like Leon Edwards is kind of like a modern product of MMA.
I'm not. Also, it's welterweight versus heavyweight, so.
Yeah, like the
but
skills
it's
are
a
there.
fight I really am looking forward to because it's my boo baiter, my baiter boo, who by all accounts is a really good guy.
Sir,
Actually, kind of hot. So yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay,
Daddy. Wow.
I think I have said this before, but I will say it again. He's shaped like a pear. Like take a pear, turn it upside down, and that's kind of his trunk. Like his torso is shaped like
he's got like an insane V taper.
That's so strange.
No, that's actually,
because his arms are not that long, right?
No, they're not. 74-inch reach or something like that.
He's that's not a lot.
He's extremely broad. His back is massive.
He looks very cartoony.
Yeah, he looks like if you took an anime character and made him real. Like, yes. Like massive upper body, huge, like crazy V taper and thin waist, and like regular legs.
That's weird.
He's basically All Might.
Not exactly, because I think all Might's arms a little longer.
Fine, fair enough, but still, I think that's really it. There's not a lot to talk about. We already talked about Zhang Andrade on the last episode. Bilal, you've been very quiet and muted.
Yes, you've been a good boy.
Anything you'd like to say about this fight?
Nobody has been insulted in this podcast.
No, not really.
Oh, you sounded so sad.
Well, it's because we know Ben has a special place in his crotch for Vader. So.
Wait, do you disagree with us saying that? Wait, do you actually think Kongo's going to win this fight? I'm curious.
Oh no, I don't really. Unless Vader like brain farts again.
Hey, all right. Like,
but we haven't seen that in a long time.
That's fair. What about what do you call it? Oh wow! Oh, Pat Curran is fighting again. Good for him. I actually one of my favorite my go-to submissions I took from Pat Curran. I'm not joking. His weird guillotine that he got on I think it was Shabalet Shemalayev.
So, yeah.
Are you gonna describe it?
It's kind of like okay, so an arm triangle. You trap the arm in the middle, and then
yeah. So you use their shoulder and your other arm to squeeze from both sides.
Exactly. So this guillotine essentially it does the same thing. So you trap the arm inside. So normally an arm in guillotine, you have the head, and then the arm is going across your body, and then you compress, and the pressure from that motion will get the tap. This, I'm actually putting the arm across in with the head, and use that to help compress the neck and get the choke. Now, the beauty of this is that because the arm is across, if you can't finish the guillotine, the back take is right there. Because the arm is not there to stop you from just coming around to the back. So a lot of times I'll just use that as a way of either finishing if I get the finish, or if I feel like I'm not going to get this finish, this guy's not going to get choked out from here, I'll bring my hip out and swing my leg over to get my hook in, and then I'll let go and I'll use that, and then I'll circle around back to the seatbelt. So it's
I get what you're saying.
And it's really there a lot from a front headlock. So when a guy shoots a takedown on you and fails and you sprawl, they actually will a lot of times they'll extend the arm. So I'll feint the circle, so they'll extend their arm, and I'll use that to kind of shove the arm across and then sit back for that guillotine. Even if I know sometimes like, hey, I'm not actually going to get this, but I need the reaction. So it's actually a phenomenal technique. I really recommend people do it.
The way that you're describing the arm actually sounds similar to another choke. I can't get to the name.
Mm-hmm.
But similar way you train it off a front headlock series.
Oh yeah, my front headlock is actually one of my stronger positions. Like I really like it when people shoot on me. I'm not a phenomenal wrestler, but my sprawl's okay.
Yeah. We've gone through this. You are nice, Diaz. So.
Anyway, I think that's it. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure as
always. I'd like to mention something.
Okay.
It's about Stipe Miocic. Like I was actually, you know, that typing you heard a little while ago. That was me looking for like his wrestling credentials, and there is an article written by Mike Riordan on Bloody Elbow in 2014, titled "UFC on Fox 10 Fact Grinder: The Wrestling of Stipe Miocic," and he goes through his wrestling career, and the guy was really good, really good.
I don't think he was an All-American, but he was.
Yeah, but shit, like I had this wrong idea. I don't know how I didn't know this, but people should look it up. Like,
I don't understand why you wouldn't think he's a wrestler. I mean,
because I'm
recently his game has been based around the snatch single mix-up with striking.
Yeah, I know, but for some reason, what I always remember of Stipe is him putting together punches.
Because he's
like I know he's a good wrestler. Yes.
He boxed as well. He was a Golden Gloves boxing tournament winner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like
he did the Aaron Pico thing, but not nearly as high a level.
Yeah, but shit, like it's good wrestling. Like,
yeah,
I just didn't never really like, for whatever reason, like it just wasn't in my head, that information. But shit. The way it ends, like the article ends, is for 2014 is, as it stands right now, among the UFC's top 10 heavyweights, he clearly possesses wrestling pedigree second only to champion Cain Velasquez.
I think that's more because the UFC just doesn't have a ton of wrestlers in their heavyweight division, honestly.
Oh, yes, of course, but this is 2014.
Right, but even in 2014, I think it was even worse. At least now they have, I think, 3 or 4. They have 4.
Yeah, I know, but...
DC, Curtis Blades, and Cain. I think.
Shit, that's for
people. I don't think you should count Cain right now.
I'm counting him because he's actually on there. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. We're the MMAngst podcast. On SoundCloud, same thing. You can follow us on Twitter at MMangstP. Follow all of our individual Twitters. I'm sure that you can find us there. At Agent Ben 10. Alejandro, what's your Twitter handle?
I don't remember. Oh yeah, Alejandro CJ.
What?
Alejandro CJ3.
And Bilal?
I barely use Twitter, so makes no difference.
All right.
I can't remember what my tag is.
All right.
Something about potatoes.
Something like that, yeah.
Dead potato or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for joining us again. As always, I've been your host. Love, peace, and all that good shit. And thank you.
Laters.
All right.